Hello, thanks for coming and listening to my second recording. Well, this initially was supposed to be an assignment for one of my classes where I have to talk about what I had learned in that particular class for the past couple weeks. That class is Introduction to Design Methods, which just talks about how to conduct research, how to conduct user presentations for my graduate program in human computer interaction. But I kind of wanted to make this a bit bigger and talk about my overall experience with school in general these past 2 to 3 weeks. But I'll start by talking about what's been happening with this particular class though, because that is what this assignment was for. And I think these past 2 to 3 weeks in this class have been actually pretty fun because I think initially in the beginning of school, it was great that we were learning about different concepts and different styles of research, different styles of user methods. I think that actually learning through doing is a lot more engaging for me at least. And I feel these past 2 weeks we did a lot of projects. And I think those projects also helped me in my soft skills in a way too. For example, in my first project, the project where we discussed, we did the qualitative analysis projects. I partnered up with 3 other people, and though everyone in my group I think is very competent, very intelligent, and always willing to put their best forward, I think initially that no one really wanted to be that flag bearer in getting our project rolling, getting the ball rolling. And I feel kind of like after I was kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna lead this ship. I don't think I'm cut out to, but I'll try my best. And so it was a chance for me to really lead the project, okay, who's doing what, dividing the work, coming together. And I think there were some stressful parts of it. I remember the project was due Diwali weekend. Diwali is a huge Indian holiday, and I had to go to a family friend's bedroom and just in the corner be like, okay guys, let's have our meeting real fast. And that was a little rough, but overall I think it was something that I learned a lot from. I think the biggest takeaway from that project was that NSFW questions do the best on Reddit. Yeah, so apparently NSFW, which stands for Not Safe for Work, which are just kind of not the most child-friendly questions, get the most engagement through comments, and that's what we learned from our project. And the second project, the prototyping, was kind of the opposite in a way, where it was my group in that project was just so jovial, so nonchalant, and I think that we just had a lot of fun with it. I think going into it, I was expecting a prototype, something that would solve accessibility issues or solving problems that people are facing, but then in our group, someone just said, what if we made an app that could teach you how to hold a duck? And the idea was just so stupid, we were like, we have to do that now. I think we were all from a programming background too, so the process of prototyping wasn't too hard for any of us to do, even though one person kind of did more of the work on that. So I guess I got a little bit easier right on that project, even though we all did help with at least something. I was more of the graphic design. But I think what I was more interesting in that project was seeing all the other groups' projects change based on the feedback I was giving them. And I was kind of surprised that, they actually really did take my feedback and everything. And it was really nice to see that collaboration at play. And the final thing I want to talk about in this class before I go on to other things was a presentation from Matthew Harrison. I think that his speech on inclusivity in neurotypical and non-neurotypical populations and celebrating the diversities in neurodivergence was a very powerful message. But what I remember most about his speech is just how charismatic he was while he was talking. Though he did come dressed up for the presentation, he seemed like he didn't care too much about just being this academic figure, even though he had a doctorate. He just clearly enjoyed what he was talking about. He enjoyed talking about games and their relationship to mental health. And his smile was very contagious. And I hope that if I do continue this path of UX academia, I could one day have that level of charisma. That'll be something I remember for a while. I'd like to talk more on more general topics about what's been going on these past 2 weeks in terms of grad school. So number one thing, I gotta sleep more. I think it's a very regular thing for me now to get less than 5 hours of sleep. And I think it's because there's a lot of things I'm not willing to compromise. I really want to go to the gym multiple times a week. I'm also an athlete that performs my sport at a somewhat high level. I'm involved in the research lab on campus. I'm doing this program and also have internship grinds. And on top of that, I have a job I'm working to. And I just feel I just have so much on my plate, and because of that, I should be managing my time a bit better, but I'm not currently. I'm not able to find a way to do it. So My sleep's just getting hit a little bit. I should fix that. When I was thinking about what to do, I think the most logical solution would be to stick away from my sport and focus more on school, because I'm only going to be in school for a year. And so that's what I've been doing these past 2 weeks. I've been kind of stepping away from my sport and focusing more purely on just being a student. But that to me was quite a difficult transition to do, because for the past 2 years of my life, my sport was such a huge part of my identity. And I think 5 years ago, if I were to tell myself how far I got in my sport, just in case you might not know, I do a boating sport called Dragon Boat, where you try to race your boat and try to be the fastest one you can. And I just reached a very, very high level in this activity. Like, I was well known for it in certain circles, and it was something I was able to take pride in myself in, seeing myself grow and be known in this community. And I think having to disconnect from it felt kind of like a part of my identity was lost in a way, where I had to make the conscious decision to not go to trainings as much because I know that I have school. And as a result, seeing my competition surpass me was kind of like, dang, I guess I really am kind of retired now. Obviously, I'm not going to say I'm anywhere near the levels of a professional athlete or any kind of professional sports person. But I know that one thing they talk about is when they quit their sport, they feel a certain sadness about a part of them being left behind. And I feel like to some degree I can relate to that. I think that kind of ties into humping with the world of UX right now, where right now we're applying to internships. And I think relative to my peers in class, I think I'm in a very good position in terms of what I can deliver, what I can do, how competent I am in my skills. But I've realized recently that when I'm competing for internships at places like Google, Facebook, Apple, my competition isn't just my classmates here, it's people studying at CMU, UW, Berkeley, or all these top UX schools. And looking at their work and my work, I don't think I'm anywhere near their level. And the program I'm in right now, my UCSC program, they match you up with someone like a professional who mentors you. My mentor, in a very, very nice, very respectful way, told me that I definitely need to step up my game if I want to get in these companies. And that to me was a wake-up call. I need to definitely get on this ship, because I'm very thankful that I've had super supportive friends and family who these past 2 years in my transition from pure CS to design have given me nothing but positive feedback on my designs and have really encouraged me to keep going. Now being in a bubble where everyone considers himself a designer, I think I genuinely am somewhat behind the curve in terms of the top level of designers. I wouldn't say in terms of top, in terms of design in general, I do not think that I'm anywhere where I need to be in terms of visual design. And that's been something that I've just been thinking about for a while, how I'm gonna make up for that hurdle. I actually don't believe in imposter syndrome, because I truly think that everywhere I am in life is a reflection of everything I've done to get there. I'm a firm believer that you are kind of what you did in the past. You are the summation of all your past actions. But with that being said, I do think I need to work a lot harder if I want to be where I want to be in a year. And so instead of talking about how I'm feeling, I want to focus more about what I want to do differently about it. And one thing I am doing is I have been talking to some friends about starting a visual design club on campus, because I think my weakest link in my UX design aspect, or my UX design toolkit, is my visual design skills. And so I am planning on starting up a club, maybe with some other students who feel similarly, where we can all work on our skills together. And I think hopefully from trying to create this community, we can all kind of grow together, and hopefully we can all make it. And to the other side of not just being students, but being professionals one day too. I mean, we have one more reflection to do, so hopefully, I don't think anyone's listening till this far in the video, but in case you are, hopefully, next recording you hear, I might have actually gotten through with getting that club going. I might have actually made some progress towards that. But yes, thank you for listening, and I hope I make a third one for this, or else it'll be kind of an awkward cliffhanger. But hope to see you around for the third one, and hope you have a nice day. Thanks for listening. All right, bye.